Girl About Library, and I'm here today to talk about a new app that I've been using to track my reading. A life-changing app. Okay, so admittedly, life-changing is a little bit of an overstatement, but this is definitely reading life-changing. I fell in love with it as soon as I started using it. I've been using it for about 2 months, and I have definitely seen changes in my reading life, and that app is Bookout. I think for me, the most important thing when I start a new app is that it's easy to use. There isn't this ridiculous learning curve. And that was definitely the case for me with Bookout. It's easy to add a book either by entering it in or by scanning the ISBN code on the back of the book. To mark that you've started reading, you just click continue reading. And if you need to add time and pages that you didn't track in the app, you just press the plus button. Overall, I just find it to be incredibly well organized, and I love the infographics that it generates after I'm done reading a book. Today, I'm going to talk about 5 different things about Bookout that I absolutely love, although to be honest, there's many more than that, but I'm gonna bring it down to 5. The number one thing that I love about Bookout is that it is not social. It is easy to use, it is aesthetically pleasing, but it is not social. It is just for me, and that makes it incredibly special and unique in 2018. Personally, I'm terrible at keeping up with Goodreads. I don't think I've marked hardly any books this year that I have read, and I've been doing quite a bit of reading thanks to Bookout. I'm on all of the social media platforms, and it's a lot. It's too much, I would say. But you can share the infographics that are generated when you're done reading a book. You can take a screenshot and share that. There's definitely ways to make Bookout social, but that's not its main purpose. I can't follow anyone on Bookout and no one can follow me. It's just for me unless I want to share. And I like that. For me personally, no matter how much I love a book, if it is 700 pages or 200 pages, if it feels like it's taking forever for me to get through it, I'm going to enter reading slump danger zone. So one of my favorite features about Bookout is that when I'm entering how long I'm reading and how many pages I'm reading, it's keeping track of all of that information and using it to determine how much time I have left reading that book if I were to read at my current pace. And that is why this app is so motivating for me. Being able to see exactly how much time I have left in a book gets me going. I don't know, it's just something about my personality. I like the act of finishing a book. It is very satisfying. And so being able to see that that is only X number of hours away, I like that. It also makes me kind of push through, oh, it says I only have an hour left of reading this book. It's 11 o'clock. I can do that. I've talked in videos before about really struggling when I am reading and I have my phone near me. It's a problem. 1 second I have a book in my hand, and the next second I'm on Facebook. And I don't know how it happens, but it does. So one of the other things that I love about Bookout is that if I'm using the Bookout app, if that's the last thing I use on my phone and I'm reading, when I grab my phone, the very first thing I see is how long I've actually been reading for. I love reading, and it's not that I need that reminder constantly, I'm making myself read, but at the same time, social media and the internet is addicting, and so having that reminder there is incredibly helpful. Number 3 is actually what I hadn't expected relying upon, but is incredibly helpful, and that is that Bookout saves the page that you are on. When you close out a reading session with Bookout, you mark what page you got to. And then when you come back, it assumes that's still the page that you're on, and it lets you know. Guess who is terrible at keeping track of bookmarks and had no idea? I have relied upon Bookout so many times to tell me what page I ended on, either because I forgot to put a bookmark in the book, my kid pulled the bookmark out, the bookmark fell out of my book. Bookmarks have a short and dangerous life in my home. And Bookout has been incredibly helpful with that. So that's unexpected, but a bonus. One of the main things that initially attracted me to Bookout is that it is a way for me to save all of the reading things. If you have watched one of my videos before, or if you even have looked at my channel name, I am a girl about the library. Most of the physical books that I read, and actually really most of the electronic ones as well, are from the library. Which means that when I am done reading, all of the quotes, all of the moments in this book that I loved go on to someone else, which in theory, I really enjoy. I love that. But at the same time, it's hard. You want to save that for yourself, and Bookout makes that incredibly easy. I used to save all of this stuff in the notes section of my phone or in the camera roll. And so I would have these like random pictures of book pages, and it's hard to tell from the book page what book it's from, and it was a mess. It is so organized and aesthetically pleasing on Bookout. It's all ordered by book, and it's just, it is a huge time saver and a sanity saver, and I love it. And one of my resolutions for 2018 was to start paying more attention to the quotes and books that I love, because I do love a lot of them, and I wasn't saving them because I didn't have an easy way to do that, and now I do. And last, but certainly not least, is the fact that Bookout reminds me to read every day like clockwork, because I told it to. It's not magic, but it's a reminder that you can set up for yourself inside Bookout. I get a message on my phone around 9 o'clock that it is time for me to read. It's time for me to turn off Parks and Recreation, This Is Us, get off Twitter, whatever I am doing, and pick up a book. As much as I love Bookout, there are definitely some faults. I love it, but it has some issues. The first of which is that Bookout is only available for Apple devices currently, so that's kind of a bummer. Also, I did pay for an upgrade for Bookout. So Bookout initially is free, but you can only keep track of 5 different books, and I don't think it generates infographics for you. But for $5.99, I did the upgrade, and considering how often I use this app and how helpful it has been for my reading life, I completely think that it is worth it. One other problem I have run into using Bookout is that sometimes I will forget that I was using Bookout. A lot of the time when I use it, I'm using it late at night, and that's when I do most of my reading, but that's also when I'm most forgetful and sleepy, and so I will forget to turn it off. I'll wake up the next morning and look at my phone, and it will say that I've been reading for, 11 hours, which isn't super helpful. I'll leave a note down below as far as how I fix that, but suffice it to say, it's easy to fix, but I do wish there was a way for it to lock out at a certain time, or I don't know. I'm just here to present problems. I don't necessarily have any solutions for them. I'm just saying it's an issue. Let me know down below if you use Bookout or if there's another app that you use in order to track your reading. Before using Bookout, I had 2 different apps that I had used before. Goodreads, which, as I said previously, I'm terrible about keeping up to date, and also Litsy, which just didn't work for me at all. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more bookish content. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.